Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Waste Unwrap, where we dive into all things waste. I'm your host Pooja, and we are here to talk about waste, our love-hate relationship with it, and everyday solutions we can adopt starting today. So let's get into it. So plastic's existence has been debated on for some time now. It is a durable and versatile material, but one that will never ever truly go away when discarded. We have our lives so entwined in plastic that we are only starting to break it down and understand its unsustainable nature. So, we believe awareness really is the first step in being able to refuse, reduce, and reuse plastics from our lives. And that is what we are going to try and do in this episode. We have solutions which can scale in size. All they really need is for more of us to adopt them every single day. So let's think about this for a second. What does it really mean to cut out all the extra stuff in our lives and live only with our bare necessities? This is exactly the mindset Sahar Mansoor, founder of Bare Necessities, is helping nurture through education, ethical consumption, and sustainable living practices. Sahar thinks she has subconsciously been an environmentalist since she was a little girl, and her love for nature was fostered spending weekends in Kubon Park with her dad and two elder sisters. She's also created and added environmental planning as a second major, which has helped her to learn about environmental engineering, ethics, and policy. Some very interesting subjects. When she first witnessed the social injustice associated with wasteful living while working with a community of waste pickers in West Bengal, this is when she became determined to stop being part of the problem. She took her first few steps in April 2015 by creating solutions rooted in Indian traditional practices, which, by the way, globally now is known as zero waste living. So, what Bare Necessities does is make mindful consumption accessible, and it also encourages everyone to produce less waste. They're also seeking to change the narrative of waste in India and aiming to become an interdisciplinary hub. What this will look like is a home for product designers to design products with a cradle to cradle philosophy, a place for policy analysts to work with local governments on policy recommendations. Basically, the kind of ecosystem we need to combat the global waste crisis. We all go through experiences that help us understand the pervasive nature of plastics. How they turn into solutions depends on how much time and attention we give to these experiences. And that's exactly what Medha and her partner Shirish gave to a situation during their trip to a wildlife sanctuary. One morning, Medha and Shirish's guide let them know that the route had been changed because of a deer's death. They soon found out that the deer had died because of plastic in its stomach. And this was the turning point in their lives. As the more they spoke about the waste crisis, the more they realized they wanted to understand the problem and find a solution for it. They got in touch with various experts and spent the first few months learning about the material. Just like frozen water turns to ice at room temperature and turns back to water, in the same way, plastic is made from crude oil and can also be turned back to hydrocarbon fuel. This learning gave birth to Rudra Environmental Solutions, which began as kitchen experiments and now is a machine that not only turns the waste plastic to fuel, but also uses the gas emissions as energy sources for the machine itself. If it sounds too complicated, encourage you to check out the article which is in your episode notes. As we always say in this show, awareness is a key first step in the unwrapping of our waste crisis. Medha and Shirish also share at source waste segregation practices, and through their NGO, Keshav Sita Trust, they collect waste plastic from almost 16,000 households, businesses, and hotels across cities in Maharashtra. The good news is the attitude around waste is slowly changing as its impact is noticed and observed in our everyday lives. But we always need more hands on deck. To hear more about such planet positive actions, let's move to our monthly roundup of news and updates. So, if you've noticed, both physical and online retail giants generate tons of single use plastic packaging waste. At the Reliance Smart Acme Mall in Mumbai, Hindustan Unilever Limited has introduced smart fill machines as an option for customers to reuse their plastic bottles. What this does is allows them to refill products like Surf Excel, Comfort, and Vim through smart refillery. Just as this was being announced, Flipkart, the online retail giant, has eliminated single-use plastic packaging across its 70-plus facilities in India. They've introduced alternatives such as eco-friendly paper shreds, paper bags, carton waste, shredded materials, amongst others. This is a huge first step if scaled across the country, and also ticks the box of awareness by educating its seller partners to move towards alternative materials. Our favorite news this month is that of Aditya Mukherjee, a grade 12 student from the Sri Ram School in Aravali. He's been awarded the Diana Award 2021 for his Refuse If You Cannot Reuse campaign and other single-use plastic reducing initiatives. Congratulations to him for his resilient efforts to create awareness and education pathways. These are just some of the good news and updates. Find the link in your episode notes for your full list. Let's move on to our recommendations next. In our last episode, we spoke a bit about the 3 new R's: refuse, reduce, and reuse as much as possible. Today, we are expanding on that to talk about the waste management pyramid. These are really simple steps all of us can take every day to manage the waste in our lives. So let's start with a day in the life of our friend Aring. Aring refuses to buy plastic tubes of toothpaste and instead makes her own. This helps her reduce things she has to buy and also makes use of ingredients she already has at home. She carries a reusable water bottle with her before leaving for the market in a bag that is repurposed from an old fabric. Right before leaving, she picks up a homemade compost and hard plastic waste. The plan is to give the homemade compost to the fruit and veggie vendors and dispose of the hard plastic in the right bin. And there you have it. Aring literally went through the waste management pyramid in the first half of her morning. The pyramid is such a great tool to keep in mind that becoming plastic-free is not impossible if done mindfully. Do check out how the pyramid is structured to understand how it works. You can find the link in your episode notes. After you've gone through the waste management pyramid, you might think to yourself, okay, so I know how this works, but how do I start practicing? And that's why we have some simple waste solutions and a very simple 2-step philosophy. Think of any product, ditch it, and then adopt an alternative in its place. We'll give you some examples. Think of fast fashion clothes. Ditch them and adopt thrift shopping in its place. Go secondhand shopping. You'll find unique and diverse pieces that fast fashion will probably never give you. Batteries. Ditch disposable batteries and adopt rechargeable batteries. Hairbrush. Ditch plastic hairbrush. Adopt wooden comb. Juice box. Ditch packet juice boxes. And instead have fresh fruits or juice in reusable glass. Pen. Ditch the plastic pen and buy a fountain pen instead. Room freshener. Ditch aerosol sprays. They have chemicals and toxins which they will never tell you about. Instead, use wax tablets, natural odor removers, diffusers, or make your own soy wax candles. Toothbrush. Nope, we are not going to give you an alternative for toothbrush because by now, if you've heard every single episode, you will know what to use instead. And there you have it. So these are just some of the products that we think can be easily ditched and replaced with a sustainable alternative. But do remember, sustainable does not always mean eco-friendly. These terms may sound interchangeable, but sustainable alternatives should always be something that can be reused over and over and over again. And that's our monthly unwrap of all things waste. Thanks for tuning in once again. So becoming plastic-free can sometimes look like changing too much too soon. But let's not forget, plastic use has gone off the charts a little over 5 decades ago. Living sustainably is grounded in our being. We just need to remind ourselves of it. So wherever you are in your waste management journey, write to us your thoughts. Tell us why you want to become plastic-free. At what point in your life did you decide to make a switch? These conversations are not only important, but they also help us to continue informing, inspiring, and innovating with all of you. We'll be back with another episode and Unwrapping Waste next month. Until then, take care.